that's part of that. Okay. You were removed from the will. Somebody named Cindy and a pastor here were getting access to an account. They were spending up the money. It became suspicious, and it was put under investigation by the court, by a new judge that's in town. And nowadays people have received their sentence. Somebody got arrested at work. And this is what they deserve because they knew that you are very much confident. You've been taking care of yourself. These people have not been taking care of you. You have been taking care of yourself. And they want to say that you are incompetent, that you're unable to manage your own life or manage your own funds, and you've been doing it all this time. And that's because they were working with wicked doctors to sign off on paperwork saying that you were incompetent, okay? Possibly a psychiatrist that's a part of this covenant cult. Since I can no longer be on TikTok, and I am on YouTube now, I need you guys to support me. Hey Zoe, please give a donation if you can. I need puppy milk, dog food, you know the thing, you know how I do it. Puppy milk and puppy food and dog food. I don't even ask for nothing for myself, only for my fur babies. So if you can donate, please do. So we're gonna pull some more cards from my Criminal Minds deck that I created, a Criminal Minds deck, y'all. This is the front of the card. This is the back. And I'm waiting on some more true crime cards to come in. So as soon as I get my true crime deck, I'm going to come back and do a live for y'all then too. But this is my true crime deck, my Oracle true crime deck. What is the first card out? Let's see. And it's been going pretty good using this deck. I just started using it. Spirit says you are rich as heck. You are rich. Not only physically rich, you are rich and abundant in energy. Okay? You see what that's saying? You are rich as beep. You are rich, baby. Even if you're having money problems. Somebody was using their mother to divert money. I put this card in here yesterday and it came out already. Somebody was using their mother's name to divert money so that some money wasn't picked up on. They were spreading this money out. Whatever you inherited, possibly from a mother figure, they were using this, their mother's name to allocate money to that account. Okay? So if the feds, if you guys are the ones that's trying to stop my videos, I'm letting you know where they put the money in. They put their money in their mama name. So somebody's trying to hide your money from the feds, and they put it in there. Yep. Somebody here, your mother, somebody here, whoever was stealing this money from you, whoever was trying to steal this inheritance from you, they were able to get away with it because it wasn't in their name. They didn't put the money in their account. They put the money in their mother's account or a sister's account. Take it how it resonates. One of their family members, because it said the court brought charges on the bank for negligence. Okay, so the court brought charges against the bank for not realizing that somebody was diverting money into their mother's account. Okay, take it how it resonates. This is also let's see. Tell me more about this bank. Boy, this bank is in a lot of trouble. Whatever bank is holding your account, they are in a lot of trouble. The bank could already be closed down due to being under investigation by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the government. There could be a bank that's being audited due to this. They're being seen as negligence. They didn't watch over somebody's money, somebody who had been declared disabled. who they were told to pay special attention to that account. Grand Rising. Tell me more about this account, Holy Spirit, about this bank. So the court brought charges on the bank because they didn't protect your account and you were declared disabled by the court. Yeah, somebody from the bank is going to jail. Because the feds were watching them. They were under surveillance. So the whole bank was under surveillance for allowing this person to keep diverting money to different accounts. Wire transfers, I just heard. A lot of wire transfers, transferring money to offshore bank accounts. Transferring money to other people's bank accounts. Who's going to jail, Holy Spirit? Who is going to jail? Okay, so somebody's karmic mother is going to jail for allocating money to their mother's account or to another family member's account. This is somebody who was made the executor over the estate, but you were the beneficiary. It says karmic mother was made the executor. Right? You were put up under something called an LPS conservatorship. Okay? This conservatorship was for an individual with mental health disorders. Right? This is why this bank is in trouble. Because you were declared disabled. Alright? Somebody was trying to say that you were disabled due to something that happened to you when you were a kid. So when you made the age of 18, somebody was supposed to be providing updates to what was going on with you. Okay, but they were working with a congressman here, a mom and a father, to steal your inheritance. You were even under some sort of hypnosis, okay? You could have had some kind of traumatic brain injury, some kind of accident, a car accident, or you had some head trauma, okay? Some kind of accident where you were incapacitated, toxicology. Right, clarify LPS conservatorship. So the court, because you were declared mentally disabled, all right? So somebody did say there was a court order to enter somebody's premises. So the court got a court order to enter somebody's home here, bank, for negligence. Because they were being watched by the feds. So the feds brought charges against the bank because a karmic mother who had conservatorship was diverting funds to a mother's account. Now this mother is going to jail. This karmic muster is being arrested. Hello, Robert. Yeah, arrest warrants are being sent out due to a court order to enter somebody's home. Yeah, it's because there was a FBI shutdown because there was a mold in the department. Okay. So this karmic mother, who normally has the heads up on what's going to happen, she didn't have the heads up this time because the feds shut down their department knowing that somebody was communicating something back to this group and letting them know what was going on. That's why this group always managed to stay one step ahead of the feds, but the bank was under surveillance and they caught somebody on film going into the bank. And this is when somebody was trying to divert the money to another account. Okay? $50,000. Thank you, Holy Spirit. So somebody, wow. So somebody was the bank was under investigation, already suspicious when this mother figure tried to allocate some money to another person's account, $50,000, that brought her up on suspicion, that made her look suspicious. Some were involved here with letting your money go out the door. People who were involved with diverting the money, transferring the money to different accounts in different people's names. This is an executor that failed to probate a will, and they were awaiting a court's appeal. All right. So somebody was waiting on the court to appeal something, or for the court to make a decision on whether to probate this will or not. All right. Because somebody removed your name from the will. But somebody has now made a deal with the DA, the district attorney, and you're about to be rich as F, okay? You're about to be rich as heck. Who's going to jail? Holy Spirit, who's going to jail? We do have a karmic mother here that could possibly, she was waiting on the outcome of a court case, but it went in your favor because of something you're speaking, something you're doing. The feds were watching you too. Yeah, needs somebody who is on Social Security or some kind of disability. That's why the bank is in trouble for negligence, because they were being watched or under surveillance already. This account was already being watched because it was a special needs account, so it already had a lot of eyes on it. This was a court case that was going on. Somebody tried to appeal the outcome, but it failed. They got a court order to enter somebody's home. The feds got a court order, a warrant. I thought the warrant came out. Yeah. So the court got a court order to enter somebody's premises. Somebody got a court order, arrest warrant. This could have been a judge. The court could have got a court order to enter the premises of a judge that was a part of some type of organized crime here, so a judge that was corrupt. So there is an arrest warrant that's been sent out to a corrupt judge that was a part of this organization in trying, as a part of diverting funds to keep you from getting your money, this sudden wealth, okay? This was an ongoing court case. So this is somebody who is mentally disabled or mental, and they were wanted by the Most High. What is it? They're wanted by America's Most Wanted. Somebody here is mental and they're wanted by the Most High. Okay? They're going to a women's prison. So why would it say women's prison if it wasn't a mama or a woman? Okay? You can't make this up. There's a karmic mother going to jail. She's going to a women's prison. An ethical decision was made. Something about $30,000 that was stolen. A stolen inheritance of $30,000. And he tried to divert $50,000 to another account. These people could also be going to jail for food stamp fraud. Thank you for saying something, because I don't know if somebody be there or not. They be attacking my channel so much. So the judges are being arrested. Thank you, Holy Spirit. There's a judge that was arrested This could be right now energy. And see, the judge wasn't aware of this arrest that was coming because the feds have done a blackout. Whoever the mole is in their department, they've realized that there's a mole and they're no longer sharing information. They're no longer sharing information with the other groups because they don't know who they can trust. So they've gone dark. Okay. Clarify FBI shutdown to find the mole. So when the FBI went dark, okay, and they stopped sharing information with the courts and with the other police departments and with other people that were in the department, this is when they found out that the executor was doing some sort of misconduct, this karmic mother, okay? She was a part of some kind of misconduct, but you were the beneficiary, all right? But she did not want to inform you that you were the beneficiary. So she began to create this whole scenario of you being incompetent, all right? So the judge and the judge that was on the stand at the time, which has now been arrested, that was a part of the organization, this judge was a thief as well. This was a court case over a thief. Evidence tested in an independent lab. So somebody could have had you caught up in some kind of jail time here. But there was some kind of independent lab involved here, or somebody falsified some evidence, all right? Clarify evidence tested in an independent lab, Holy Spirit. Yeah, so these people are involved in unaliving somebody here, and evidence was tested in an independent lab that showed that this person was involved or that you were involved, okay? Take it how it resonates. Clarify evidence tested in an independent lab, buried someone alive, okay? So they buried somebody alive and the evidence was tested in an independent laboratory. Ooh, somebody is a mental case, okay? They are wanted by America's Most Wanted. They're going to a women's prison and jail, okay? This has been a court case about a thief, somebody who failed to probate a will, who actually said there wasn't a will, okay? They're going to jail for racketeering, money laundering, kidnapping, the list goes on. People were working with representatives, lawyers, senators, doctors. Even the president came out. I even had Obama came out. Clarify, buried someone alive, Holy Spirit. Live. Trying to undermine the integrity of the judicial process. That's what these people were doing. They could have placed your DNA at the scene of a crime. A Fed agent that was part of this organization. An attorney. So there's an attorney that could have placed some evidence at some of your DNA at the scene of a crime to undermine the integrity of the judicial system. But the DNA of the person that they buried wasn't your DNA, okay? Or this is somebody that's saying that you died here. There's definitely an attorney bringing a federal, okay, there's an attorney here. I don't know if this is a good attorney or a bad attorney, but there is an attorney here. There's a federal indictment going on in the courts. So the feds are indicting somebody who was shooting at somebody at a club or somebody that got shot at a club. Wow. So there was evidence that was tested in an independent lab that found that the DNA of somebody that was buried alive is different from the person that was shot at a club. Somebody was working with a crooked DA to cover up. Oh, look at that. Crooked attorney, crooked DEA, okay? You could be placed under witness protection, but somebody was buried alive here. Somebody that was shot at a club. Oh my God. And there's an attorney that's a crooked DEA that's been trying to hide evidence or falsifying evidence or contaminating evidence so that they could undermine the integrity of the case. You're getting adjudication here with a formal decision being made. You're about to be very wealthy. You're about to receive a payout here because somebody was being paid to falsify evidence. That could be the money that was transferred to a crooked attorney or a deputy district attorney. Somebody knows now that there was a crooked attorney that was undermining the justice system. A deputy district attorney and crooked DAs. Somebody was covering up some forged checks. Somebody was out here forging checks, stealing money, and they were covering it up. Okay? Somebody got a microchip. Somebody's house has a bug. They're bugging somebody's home here. Power of attorney was put over you because they declared you as incompetent and disabled or special needs. And ever so often, they would have to come back and revisit the case. This was a trust fund, okay? Somebody is mentally disabled, mentally disturbed here too. You could have been declared mentally disabled or incompetent, and you're very much competent. And these people are not. So there's a mother figure that's being indicted here by the feds. She could be in jail already because the ethical decision was made. What was the ethical decision that was made, Holy Spirit? They removed the judge. They know that the DEA was crooked. They know that one of these attorneys was crooked. They know that somebody was buried alive, somebody that was shot at a club. And so they arrested somebody at their job. Could be somebody that worked at the bank, because the bank is now under investigation because they were already under. The bank was under investigation by court order for negligence because an executor misconducted or mismanaged or they didn't manage the money. They were actually switching the money to different accounts, to different people's accounts, trying to evade the authorities. These people have been undermining the judicial system. Yeah. Keeping them from figuring out what was going on. So now that the bank got shut down, it's over. It's over, y'all. It's over. The bank that got shut down. They know that they were transferring all of this money to different cities, different states, different accounts. Somebody was actually hiding the money in their mother's account. This person lied under oath here. This is when somebody failed to put a will under probate. Somebody tried to say there wasn't a will so that they could keep you out of something. Yeah, there's a blackout here with the feds. They stopped telling everybody what was going on with this case. There was some kind of scam that went on with cryptocurrency. It was a crypto scam, okay? Now there's a new district attorney, a new DA on the case, all right? These people were insidious. We're trying to steal this from you. Now they're trying to run to Haiti where they have this house where they do all of their bidding at. They have underground tunnels and underground trap doors in this house. This house is somewhere in the country. Look. where they go on vacations to. They could do this to mentally disabled girls, boys, okay, U.S. Marshals involved as well. Somebody is on the run. Somebody's trying to run. SWAT. Because somebody got arrested at work. So if somebody could have, the SWAT could have showed up at somebody's door. They do this to healthy babies for their stem cells. Now the crazies have begun. Okay? Somebody was doing food stamp fraud as well. Wow, this is crazy. Anything else, Holy Spirit? This was a malpractice lawsuit. Payout is coming with adjudication. Somebody sued for malpractice. So somebody sued the bank for malpractice and negligence, and they're gonna have to pay you back every cent. You can run, but you can't hide. That's right. You could be seeing angel number 515 as a sign of synchronicity. I was supposed to look up what it means. Somebody, if you can look up what the number 515 means, put it in the comments. Somebody took out an informant here. Him and his wife. They unalived an informant. So, the feds had sent in an informant to work with this cult or organization. Alright? These people found out that there was an informant in the cult. Or the feds found out that there was a mole, okay? But somebody found out that somebody was working for both sides here. Like somebody found out that this person was working for the feds, like that's why the feds went dark. Because they were found out. They were found out. The feds were found out. This group found out that they had sent somebody in to go undercover. And that they were reporting back to the feds. The cult found out that the feds had somebody working undercover. And they took this person out, them and their family, their whole family, their wife, their kids, everybody. And then they falsified the evidence. They could have even buried these people alive, taken out residence, but whoever was shot at a club, this person could have been the informant that was working for the feds. And this group falsified evidence to make it look like you had something to do with this, or they created a whole nother scenario to deceive and mislead the court. It says falsified evidence refers to evidence that has been created or altered in a way that is deceiving or misleading. Beginning positive change. Oh, thank you, Chris, for looking it up. So you could be seeing the angel number 515, which means beginnings, positive change. Okay, because you got new beginnings and positive changes coming here. They dug those bodies up here, and the evidence doesn't match. They realized by sending the DNA evidence to another lab that somebody had falsified some evidence here, okay? To undermine the justice system, to keep the feds chasing their tails, to keep everybody running in circles, keep everybody looking at you, all right? This karmic mother, all right? She paid a hitman, right? They know that too. You said angel number 515 means new beginnings, positive changes, and the importance of trusting your intuition. Thank you for that. Yeah. That's so good. That is so relevant to this reading. You got positive changes on the horizon. You got a whole new beginning coming in. Clarified deputy district attorney and forged check. It came out again, y'all. So I'm going to keep it. It's definitely significant to the reading. Yep. Anything else, Spirit? Tell them something that only you would know, Lord, so they know that I have come from you. I think this whole thing, you inherited a home here, and they were trying to hold on to that house. They were trying to sell that house. They unalived an informant out here twice. I didn't even realize I had made that card twice. So they definitely found out that somebody was working for the feds, that they were in there to bring back information to the feds, that they were under surveillance. And they literally took this person out here. It's here twice. The first one says they unalived the informant for working with the DEA, which was a crooked DEA, okay? And then they took out the informant and his pregnant wife, okay? So they took out this man and his entire family for working with this DEA, or DEA, okay? This could be two separate informants. These people could have had more than one informant in this group. Taking out residents. Clarify shots fired at a club. Somebody could have got shot in a club, the informant. They could have been at a club when they got shot, and then they went and killed this person's family. Under the authority of some kind of a representative, a senator, or representative, and they're all going to jail for the part that they played. This person has already died. This was a representative that died of a heart attack. That could have been karma. The bank is over. It's closed. That bank has been closed down, and the government could be involved. They could have been laundering money through this bank. They definitely got these people on film, on camera. Something about healthy babies here. They're all going to jail for kidnapping a pregnant woman here and selling their babies. So they didn't even, that's crazy. They could have kidnapped the informant's wife. Because it says they unalived the informant for working with the DEA and took out the informant and his pregnant wife. So it says here they kidnapped a pregnant woman and sold their babies. So they literally could have kidnapped, they could have took out the informant at a club where shots were fired, and then kidnapped the wife and took the baby to sell the babies. Okay. This is weird. This is weird and disturbing. Very disturbing. Do you have pretty toes? Yes, I think I do. Okay, tell me more about this. This is some type of child pornography here. Yeah, there was an ex-FBI agent that was working as an informant undercover. This person was supposed to be protecting you or protecting your mother or something like that. This person was unalive, incarcerated. Now the police is after this person. They're after this group for the unaliving of this ex-agent. There was a forensic toxicology report that proved that the DNA that was submitted was not the DNA of this person. Insurance policies could be significant. These people could do this for insurance money. Tell me more about the informant over here. Let's talk about the informant. These people are insidious, I'm telling you. They don't care what they have to do or who they got to do it to. All they cared about was this money, and they ended up taking out a federal agent, which put the FBI on blackout mode because these people now knew that they were being watched and under surveillance. take it out of resonates. Anything else about the informant? Clarify the forensic toxicology report. What's up with the forensics? They sent it to an independent lab. So the court ordered that a toxicology report be done on somebody here. And this time they sent it to an independent lab instead of allowing these people to send it to a lab or something. This could have been a DNA test done. I don't know. Clarify toxicology. Something about some extortion, extorting. See, I'm telling you, this lawyer was crooked. He had to put a whole nother attorney over this case. There's a cult leader here that wanted revenge. Tell me about the forensic toxicology report. Okay, so there could have been a forensic toxicology report done on somebody who was a Marine, okay? This was fraud by abuse of power by a preacher. All right, Marine or something. Tell me about this toxicology report. Toxicology report, please and thank you. This is somebody that contested the will and put it into probate. Okay, this preacher, they put it into probate so that they could extort the money from you. There's a Marine that was working with the CIA. Wow. Now y'all can't tell me y'all get messages like this from nobody else. Yeah, somebody falsified a DNA test here. You were a minor? You were a minor. Somebody was a Marine for the Coast Guards. You were a minor here, and this person passed away. Could have got shot in the club and they were an informant for the feds. Tell me more about this Marine Coast Guard. So it could be that your father was a Marine for the Coast Guards. They did a DNA test on this person, but somebody falsified power. It could be that your father was a Marine Coast Guard who was also working with the CIA on Operation Paperclip. Operation Paperclip. Y'all know about Operation Paperclip, right? This person could get 3 years in jail for this. In jail. They could have also did this when it came to a deceased loved one of yours that left something, like one of your exes that left you something. They destroyed the documents and information and tried to declare you as incompetent so you couldn't get this $250,000. But new evidence, new DNA evidence was provided that proves that this Marine really was your father. They couldn't get a death certificate here, so they forged the document and created a fake document because they couldn't get the death certificate to claim somebody's benefits that was in the military. 666, as I said that. Somebody could be melanated, okay? 6 electrons, 6 neutrons. The bank is suing the community now. So while the bank is being sued by the feds and the government and or the court is suing the bank now for negligence, excuse me. Now the bank is coming after these people for the money that they did pay out to them. Somebody's being found guilty here. So the bank is suing this community because somebody was found guilty. This might be very shocking to you when you find out. Please donate to the Cash App if you can. I'm trying to get the cooking formula for my little baby. Somebody gave a false testimony. Somebody broke HIPAA laws. Okay, they broke HIPAA laws. Clarify broken HIPAA laws. They got access to your medical records, falsifying medical records using a doctor. This is how they broke HIPAA laws. They violated your privacy as well. Confirmation. Now they're watching you from jail. Watching you from jail. Somebody could have already got 3 years in jail for this. Here, bond money laundering, okay? A cult leader that wanted revenge, and somebody named Cindy. You got major money coming in. This could have been over an insurance policy. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Anything else? Yes, the U.S. Customs. These people could have got stopped trying to leave the country. You were taken from your mother who may have been unwell. So they took you from somebody who was unwell, who was dying. I did get earlier that somebody's mother died while giving birth. The smallest one in the group is growling. She is so itty bitty and tiny, and she is mean as a rattlesnake. Yeah, it was a crooked FBI agent here. Okay, this crooked FBI agent, which was an informant, somebody found out that this person was an informant and they took him out, even though he was crooked. Somebody changed your name so you could find out that your name is not even the same. They put something into probate so that they could get a loan. And they got a probate loan on your money. And they were getting monthly payments, okay? Spirit is saying they spoke to a lawyer and had your mother removed from the will. Take it how it resonates. Government was involved and a pastor that's a pedophile. Okay? This person was summoned to court and asked to take a DNA test. Thank you, Holy Spirit. There was something about a school shooting too. It's crazy, boy. It's crazy how accurate this is coming out. Since I took out the other cards and separated, it's just coming out clear and smooth. Cult leader wants revenge. You solved your own case that had become a cold case. Alright? Clarify, you solved your own cold case. The government is the one that's censoring you. Something about a killer nurse. There's a killer private nurse out here who was taking out her patients, stealing their babies, putting something in patients' food. Wow, you witnessed the murder. They created another birth certificate for you. You are adopted. You also are a targeted individual. Clarify. Telling you they asked for another DNA sample. This person couldn't falsify the sample this time. So now your settlement trust fund is protected. It is protected from these people. Alright, you will consider special needs So your trust fund is put up under a settlement trust, a settlement management trust for special needs trust. It protects people who are vulnerable to financial abuse or who may not be able to use their money wisely. Okay, for disabled individuals on SSI or Medicaid. There's a secret indictment here. So who's being indicted? Who's the secret indictment? Since they killed the federal agent that was on both sides, playing both sides, who's the secret indictment, Holy Spirit? Someone that's in the military is a secret indictment on the settlement. Okay? So the secret indictment is someone who is in the military that knows about this settlement trust. They put a freeze on your credit too, so no one else can use your social security number. Okay? So these people are using your information. There's a nurse here that they work with. The nurse uses their medication to unalive them. And then this is a private duty nurse. Okay? It could be a CNA, a provider, or whatever. She steals from the patient, preying on them, stealing from their accounts, bank accounts, and putting something in their food. It's out here twice. Can't be done. Takeoff could be significant from the amigos. So whoever this cult leader is, he sends this nurse in. She's the nurse of death, nurse of wretch. So the bank, we already know the bank is under investigation. There's some kind of malpractice lawsuit going on against the bank. You're about to be paid out, okay? Whoever was working for this bank, they're a part of some kind of Agenda 21 program. What else? I'm thinking this is pretty much it. It could be JP Morgan Bank, but it was in the reverse. I don't know what bank it is. What's the name of the bank Holy Spirit? What's the name of the bank, Holy Spirit? Well, I'm not getting the name of the bank, and then the card fell down by itself, so I don't know why. But this is about the court brought charges against the bank for negligence, so I guess they don't want me to disclose the name of the bank, but you were under some kind of spell or hypnosis. Now you're under witness protection, and there was a cricket here who unalived himself from witchcraft. This cricket cop was probably supposed to be protecting you. So you could have already been under witness protection and not known it, okay? Because these people wanted to watch and see what the police wanted to watch and see what these people would do. Yeah, you have CDs or saving bonds in a bank account. And they staged a robbery here. You were kidnapped here. Kidnapped for money, but it was wrong, but it went wrong, and they found you and put you in a foster care system. Kidnapped for money. So somebody kidnapped you to extort somebody for money, or extort a bank account, or extort a trust fund. Ticket house mates. Somebody that they unalive with morphine, or tried to unalive somebody with morphine overdose using this cricket nurse. Somebody that was named the beneficiary on a will. You're about to receive a new home, could be a mobile home. And you might get $20,000 in the mail or something like that. Or somebody stole $20,000 from an armored truck heist. Okay, some drugglers, smugglers. Yeah, some drugglers, smugglers. Alright, that's all I got for you. You got a governor involved as well here. I've been on here almost an hour. I've not received one donation, not one super chat, not one nothing. So I'm gonna go. I got nothing left. But I appreciate those of you who are here, those who would love to donate but you can't. I appreciate it. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate all of your time, your energy. I'm gonna put this in. This is my crime deck now. I put all my crime stuff together so that I can get a more accurate, precise reading. There's a lot of money going around here. 30,000, 20,000, 50,000. That's a lot of money. And these are people who will do anything for money. Spirit said that there would be people who can't donate, but Spirit also said that there would be people who can donate. And those who can, they will. That's why I'm going to keep showing up for those who try to help out the ministry. This is not something that they want to get out, trust me. You could already be under witness protection and not know it. I'm going to clarify this federal indictment because I never did find out what came from. This federal indictment. There's a bank attorney here sending people to jail. The bank had to hire an attorney. The bank attorney lawyer. There's a bank attorney lawyer here. The bank had to get an attorney here. So that could be the secret indictment. The bank attorney. Yeah. So the secret indictment is going to be the bank attorney. Whatever evidence that this bank attorney comes up with, they're going to use this in court against this group. Okay? That's what I got from that. Clarify federal indictment on this. We got kidnapping a pregnant woman and selling their babies. So somebody was involved with kidnapping pregnant women and selling babies. So there's a secret indictment against that person by Homeland Security. Clarify federal indictment. Clear and accurate message. This could also be a federal indictment on a psychiatrist. Because we have shock treatment here. So you could have gone through some kind of shock treatment. You could have been put in a mental hospital. But there's a bank that's suing the community for their money that they took out because they're under investigation. Tell me more about this, Spirit. Tell me more about the bank. No, clarify shock treatment. So somebody could have kidnapped a pregnant woman and gave her shock treatment so that they could get her baby and sell it? Wow, that's weird. And there's a federal indictment by Homeland Security. They do this for healthy babies, for stem cells research. They're all going to jail for the part that they played, that's for sure. Wow. For somebody, they could have kidnapped your mother while she was pregnant and tased her or shocked her when she gave birth to healthy babies. I don't understand why that's weird. Clarify shock treatment. Underground tunnels. So there could have been some kind of torture going on for money. It was under investigation. Somebody submitted somebody else's DNA instead of DNA for a DNA test. Kidnapped pregnant woman. Shock treatment. Seal baby. So they kidnap the pregnant woman till she has the baby, and then they kill her with shock treatment and steal the baby and sell the babies. Fraud. This is what they do. They committed some kind of fraud. They changed their identity. So you could find out that your name is not your name, that your birthday is not your birthday. You could be older than what you think you are, or you could be younger than what you think you are. They could have said your mother had a car accident, but they unalived her. Okay, confirmation. So they said your mother had a car accident. They said that she hit a deer or had a car accident, okay? But they really gave her shock treatment. Because we have caution tape and crime scenes, so somebody was murdered. So it definitely was okay, so somebody could have been murdered and then put in a car to make it look like a car accident, okay? And then there was a crime scene, caution tape, confirmation. That's what they did. To the child, they took you and sold you as a baby. So somebody kidnapped your mother, shocked her, took you, sold you. Because this is what they do to healthy babies. They unalive the mother and sell the babies through some kind of underground tunnels. They kidnapped her, took her through some underground tunnels, shocked her, stole the baby. Committed fraud, changed your identity so that they could sell you, and told everybody else that this person had a car accident. Confirmation. Told everybody this person had a car accident, but you were a privileged lady or a privileged child here because there was an investment that was made for you as a child. Confirmation. Somebody created a savings bonds for you. So there's a federal, okay, yeah. There was an insurance policy on your mom. Somebody collected on that policy. But the body and the DNA evidence didn't match something. This was attempted murder. They attempted to murder somebody. But they didn't murder you. I don't know what that is. Maybe that long. Attempted murder, lied under oath. Government involved. Gotta watch them because they'll send scorpions after crows. One more card clarifying this. Falsifying documents in your birth certificate. Somebody named Cindy. Your mother's name could be Cindy. Cindy could be your mother. And they kidnapped her while she was pregnant. And either when she gave birth, they unalived her, took you. Yeah. And now these people are being indicted. Somebody named Cindy is being indicted by Homeland Security. Or somebody named Cindy is being indicted for fraud. Insurance fraud. And for the death of your mother. Because they said your mother died one way, but she died a different way. They're all going to jail. Even this person named Cindy is going to jail too. Or your mother's name could have been Cindy. Take it out of residence with. Clarify Cindy, what part did she play in this? This could be an aunt named Cindy. Or this is somebody who asked for a DNA test. Yeah. Yes, somebody tried to cash in. Somebody named Cindy could have tried to cash in on an insurance policy here. We have it here twice. Insurance policy and tried to cash in on an insurance policy. So somebody named Cindy tried to cash in on an insurance policy, but the court asked for another DNA test and found out that somebody wasn't your mother or wasn't any relation to you. I don't know. Something to do with a bank account. Clarify Cindy. Who is Cindy? What part did she play? Was she the nurse? She could have been a bank teller at the bank. That's now under indictment. That's being indicted. But Cindy is getting indicted too because of this bank. It's something to do with the bank. Cindy could work at the bank, and she was allowing these people to get access to money that was supposed to be allocated to you, but she was allowing this community to come in and get money out of this bank. Yeah, angel number 515 again. Yeah, it was a fiduciary account where somebody was supposed to be overseeing it and making investments and making good investments, not bad investments. But somebody literally changed your birth certificate, changed the name on your birth certificate. Clarify birth certificate. Why is that here? So this was a black market adoption ring. See how they came out after I asked about birth certificates? Black market adoption ring. So these are people who take other people's babies and adopt them out for money. Cindy is significant. Something about hypnosis. Clarify Cindy, Holy Spirit. What part does she play in this? Why is Cindy here? Why is Cindy here in this live? Why is she in this reading? What is the part that she played in this? Clarify Cindy, Holy Spirit. Cindy could be a part of the mother-daughter duo. This is a daughter helping a mother to scam somebody out of money. Money that should have been going to you. They wanted to keep it going to this mother and this daughter and a granddaughter here. So Cindy is not working alone. She is working with a mother. This is a mother-daughter duo here. Or this is a grandmother and her daughter. Take it out of resonates, but something about a loan they got on your inheritance here. So it could be that your mother is related to these people in some kind of way. Clarify the collector's mother. This is a collective reading, so take it how it resonates. But it could be that your father's family has been suing for this estate. They have been fighting for this estate, something that they wanted. They wanted this money, this mother figure, this mother and daughter duo that's been working to stop them from getting this fiduciary. But you're still about to be rich and get a new home. Okay? There was a lot of crooked officials. This could have been in a small town. Okay? There isn't very many people overseeing it, you know. And now till the feds got involved. That's why it's coming to fruition now, because the feds got involved. But I feel like this was going on for a long time. Yeah. Somebody's about to be arrested. Okay? Somebody named Cindy, who was working with a mother figure to stop a bank or to keep a bank sending out checks to somebody. Okay, somebody was getting monthly payments, and it wasn't until they went under investigation by the FBI or the CIA or the NCIS or the NSA that these people got caught. Because this could have been a small town where everybody knows everybody. Okay, and so they just kept helping this mother figure or kept doing illegal shit for this group. And now that it's under investigation, there's federal charges being brought. Well, if Freemasons operates the government, Trump and Freemason man. Ma'am, that's justice. Okay, you're right. I forgot about that part, yeah. Maybe nobody was really paying attention at first because you were declared as disabled, okay? And this executive didn't really need nobody's permission to get money out the account. But something became suspicious when it was so much money being allocated and switched around and moved around. It was just too much. It became suspicious. The court ordered a new DNA test. That's when it became suspicious, maybe. I don't know. But somebody conspired to unalive somebody that made a deal with the DA to not go to jail in the reverse. Put there, I think, yeah. Somebody tried to make a deal with the DEA to not go to jail. Maybe because they're older. This could be a much older person. It could have been a custody battle that went on over you. Okay? Wait a minute, what's that say? Black market babies. There was a divorce and a custody battle. Spirits, they say exactly what I tell you. So there was a divorce and a custody battle that went on here. And you were placed in an adoption land. You were placed. It was supposed to be a church that people could drop their babies off and come back and get them at a later date when they're more stable. But it was really a black market adoption ring. Okay, that's here twice. Black market adoption ring and black market babies adoption ring. Okay, so somebody was definitely a part of some type of black market adoption ring. Somebody could get the death penalty. Or they could have somebody's case could actually be overthrown or thrown out of court or dismissed, okay, due to somebody's age. I don't know. Clarified death penalty. Somebody could literally get the death penalty for a murder, but it'll be thrown out because of this person's age. Somebody, or because of their mental health, because it says mental. So somebody could get the death penalty for what they did to your mom, but because of this person's mental health or mental state, they will not get the death penalty. You solved your own case, a cold case here, about forged documents and people creating fake documents. Okay, they could have created a fake birth certificate. They contested a will that was put into probate, okay? Wow, clarified death penalty, Holy Spirit. Somebody is mental, and because of their mental health or mental capacity, they may not get the death penalty. They may have to spend the rest of their life in a mental institution. Confirmation. Somebody gonna have to spend the rest of their life in a mental institution because they're psycho crazy. Tell me more about the death penalty. Because they unalive your mom with witchcraft or literally with shocking her to death. Shock treatment. It says, why did somebody falsify evidence? The answer is to mislead the court. So somebody could have been asking themselves, like, why would somebody do all of this? Why would somebody do that? That is because they wanted to mislead the court and they wanted to get access to your money. Okay? Your mother paid a hitman. Alright. Alright. Clarify hitman. She's diabolical. This is not a normal mother figure. To all my people out there who have beautiful, loving mothers, who love their kids and will do anything for them, you are very lucky. For a lot of people, that's not what they had, especially if they came into some money at a young age. These people literally looked at you as if you were nothing to them. Maybe they didn't even believe you were this person's child, okay, or their son's child, whatever the situation is. The family may not have believed that you were that person's child. There's some kind of a settlement coming here, confirmation. You were targeted individual. You could be being GameStop targeted by the government, on the watch list. They saw you as guilty. Somebody here, they know this person is guilty. Or somebody's feeling guilty. I doubt that. A judge, they know that a judge is guilty here because he was a part of this organization. Tell me about the death penalty. That's why this mother figure is gonna get the death penalty. Okay? Because you were considered to be a disabled child. It's different if you would have been a normal child, that they could say, well, she knows what they're doing. That's why they were watching, because you were considered disabled and they wanted to make sure that somebody wasn't mismanaging your money. After they were saying you were mentally ill, they are the ones that are mentally ill. Clarify death penalty. You were put under a conservatorship. It's called an LPS conservatorship, so you might want to look that up. LPS conservatorship. Yeah. Over a trust fund. Cannot look it up. Okay. This could be a trigger warning for somebody. You could have been drugged and kidnapped at 10 months old, where you were essayed as a baby. Sorry that happened to you. Now they're trying to leave the country, but they're going to get stopped at the airport by Border Patrol, whatever, Homeland Security. They were trying to leave the country. They got stopped at the border by Homeland Security. They were trying to leave the country on a plane. Got stopped by Homeland Security. Who's trying to leave the country? Whoever this state executive is. The FBI shut down because of this. They had to figure out what all these people knew, who all was involved. So there was a blackout with the feds. That might be why this took so long. There was so many people involved. $30,000 this year. The feds were watching and it was under surveillance. They were trying to say that you were incompetent, but they weren't spending your money on you at all. This was the executor of the estate. They're being found for misconduct and abuse of power because they never told you. That's why there's a blackout here on information. They could be trying to black me out too because they don't want me to expose what they're doing. Okay? Confirmation. So I could be being targeted by the feds because they don't want me to expose what's going on here. Somebody is really sick in this energy. Could be a crooked cop. Clarify FBI shutdown to find the mole and blackouts. Over a structured settlement, $30,000 that they were trying to divert to another account. That's how they got caught up. Somebody was doing money laundering. They actually smuggled cocaine here. They used a church for money laundering. There could have been a witness to this murder of your mother. That's the secret indictment. Whoever witnessed the murder. Secret indictment and federal indictment. Wow, these people got so many indictments coming their way. They ain't gonna know if they coming or going. Clarify secret indictment. Ooh, this is a military. So there's also somebody could be indicted by the feds and the CIA, which is the military. Like somebody was a Marine. Wow. It could be that a lot of people were really investigating this person's death, whoever this Marine was. Or they faked somebody's death and have you as passed away on paper. Okay, that you're still alive, but they got you as dead on paper. Yeah, this person is being arrested for violating the court order and for filing false and misleading evidence trying to undermine the justice system. I remember when I had my miscarriage, though, like, yeah, somebody lied under oath. Like, somebody, when I had my miscarriage, they took me to the hospital. They didn't take me straight back to the emergency part. They took me to a room, a little side room, okay? Like, they knew I was coming. So this could be what these people do. Like, they not just live babies, but dead babies, too. Like, they harvest off of themselves. Yeah, this is a crooked FBI agent. They had to figure out who all of the crooked FBI agents were so that they could, and that's why they did a blackout. Okay, FBI, CIA, NSA, they did a shutdown to find out who the mole was, a complete blackout, because they needed to find out who the crooked FBI agent was. Clarify. Shutdown, FBI shutdown. They never realized that it was somebody in their own department that was keeping these people abreast of what's going on. The case has been dismissed. There's been a case dismissal. It's over. You're about to get your money. And these people are going to prison for identity theft. Can't make it up. Who? That's what he said, you can go to Huntsville. When we get back, we're going straight to sleep. We got JP Morgan Bank and $20,000. Armored truck heist. I already told that closure. So somebody could have robbed Chase Bank and got $20,000 out of there. Somebody had a power of attorney over you because you were considered disabled, but now there's beautification here due to some suspicious activity when it came to a bank account. And somebody literally robbed an armored truck and got away with $20,000. Okay? Yep, government involved. Government involved with all of this, y'all. The government is always involved in this confirmation. This was some kind of cryptocurrency, okay? So there was some crypto fraud went on here. It's being returned to you. So some crypto fraud that went on where somebody may have stole some money from a digital account or digital currency here from an estate, it's being returned. The case was dismissed against you. You could have witnessed a murder or a homicide here. Confirmation. Somebody submitted someone else's sample of DNA instead of theirs, okay? Or instead of your real father's DNA. Somebody submitted somebody else's DNA. Maybe a family member instead of that person's DNA, okay? Like if somebody was trying to dispute that you were somebody's child, instead of this person getting that person's DNA, maybe they got their sister's DNA or their uncle's DNA or somebody else's DNA. They didn't use their DNA or the real person's father's DNA. They used somebody else's DNA. Somebody that was deceased. Or they used somebody else's DNA because the other person was deceased or something. Check it out, it resonates. A karmic mother is involved, okay? So your karmic mother's ex could have been deceased, so they used somebody else's DNA. But the FBI illegally microchipped her. Your mother might have had some stays in a mental institution. I don't know who I'm talking to with this reading, but your mother might have been in a mental hospital before, or she could be planning to use that as her excuse that she's crazy, okay? This is her defense. She's already made up her defense of what she's going to say to keep from going to jail, and that's why she's not getting the death penalty. It could have been $103 million here. Somebody stole $20,000 out of it. They robbed an armored truck. I'm pretty sure this was the gang members. Yeah, ethical decision was made. The court has been dismissed, and all of their false evidence that they used to try to scam you out of your cryptocurrency, it's all over now. They are going to jail or hell. Somebody's going to a mental hospital for burying somebody alive. They were going to get the death penalty for unaliving somebody and for forgery and trying to undermine the justice system, and they're watching you from a mental hospital or from jail. Okay? They could be in jail right now, but after their sentencing, they're going to be going to Leavenworth. I just heard Leavenworth. You are rich, okay? You are rich. You got $103 million that was left to you by a father here. There was somebody that was in the military. You were adopted out after these people kidnapped you and run alive your mom. Somebody was in the Navy, too. It's either Navy or the Marines. Bank attorney. That's working for the bank. They're going to use the information that this bank attorney gathers. The information this bank attorney is using to help get their bank out of trouble is going to be the same information that gets these people locked up. Because this bank is going to turn on their butts big time, whoever it was. Though whoever the clerk was, whoever worked there, they're going to jail, everybody's going, all of them. Somebody contaminated the DNA test, I just said that. They gave somebody else's sample instead of their sample, and they contaminated the test. Yeah. Your father could have been already passed away or something. So they just gave somebody else's sample. I don't know. Or they gave a sister's sample instead of that person's sample. But a body got dug up, and they know that that person was not the right, that wasn't the right DNA because they dug up the DNA of that other person. Maybe these siblings didn't have the same parents. They didn't have the same father. That's why they used her DNA, because they have different fathers, so it wouldn't come up that that person was your father. And this person would be able to keep control of the money. Something like that. What is that? Maybe your family, I don't know. They're crazy. This is a group of crazies, I'm telling you. group of psychos. Look at that. Look at all this money. 50,000, 30,000, 20,000. This keeps falling. Clarify, kidnapped a pregnant woman and sold her baby. Clarify that, because you keep falling down, so you must have a story to tell. So they kidnapped your mother while she was pregnant, and they sold you for $50,000. This cult was a part of some kind of KKK Agenda 21 program where they changed your name on a birth certificate. Do not make it up. You can find there's an error on your birth certificate on how your name is spelled. This is a couple that took you from your mother and lied about an adoption. I cannot make it up. Dang. And then they exhumed the body and found out that the DNA that was in that, the DNA evidence in front of it was poison. Okay, somebody was poisoned. So they knew somebody was poisoned, whoever your real parents were. Somebody was poisoned and they did a toxicology report on that person. There's a cult leader that wants revenge on an ex-FBI agent that's a private investigator. Okay? Or there's an ex-FBI agent who's been watching this cult leader. They were protecting your mother. Your mother could have been under some kind of witness protection, but she still ended up being unalive when they kidnapped her. Now, look it up. Witness protection. I cannot make it up. I'm telling you. This ex-FBI agent, your mother was under witness protection. And this person literally is old now and they've retired, but they're still keeping up with the case. They all wondered what happened to the child. You are the child. And they know that you're alive now. You applied for some kind of benefits. Clarify, yep, Pastor Pedo, I'm telling you. A pastor is a pity. This person had something to do with your mother's death. This is the cult leader that wants revenge now because you solved your own case. Okay? This is the one that contaminated the DNA sample and put the will into probate so that they could get some kind of an advance on the inheritance. They had help from a mayor of Houston, because you were a minor. This was insidious, what these people did to try to keep this. This is a crime against humanity, crime against an innocent child. Cult leader wants revenge. False testimony. So there's a cult leader who wants revenge over a false testimony, or there's a cult leader who gave a false testimony who is now being arrested by the FBI. Okay? Because you were a minor and this person abused their power. They did a whole lot. Cult leader wants revenge because they're being arrested by the FBI for false testimony. Okay? Anything else? Yeah, there's no way. They named a new beneficiary because this person didn't get anything in the will. The estate lawyer named a new beneficiary for these people. And DNA proves that you were innocent, that you didn't have anything to do with any of this. Okay? A fight broke out in the court. So there could have been a fight that broke out between the cult leader and the estate attorney, who could be the secret indictment. Why did a fight break out? Clarify, fight broke out in the courtroom between the cult leader and the estate attorney because new DNA evidence proves that somebody here is innocent. Okay. That's why the fight broke out. Because somebody now sees you have a wonderful day now. Okay. Freemason mofos. Have a great day. All right, tell me about the fight. Fight, fight. The fight broke out because this person got 3 years. Somebody got 3 years. The state attorney got 3 years in jail. And the government has been targeting you for something that you don't even know that you know with censorship. You're exposed this, and this is why they've been censoring you. Okay? It says censorship. The government is targeting you for something you know that you don't know that you know. Okay? This could have been a human smuggling going on here. Clarified 3 years. Who got 3 years in jail? I think it was the attorney. The original state attorney got 3 years in prison. Told you it was an attorney that was trying to get you caught up. Whoever this estate attorney, they was trying to get you caught up, but now there's evidence was found that you were innocent. Yeah. And the state attorney is going to jail for 3 years. Racketeering. So there's a state attorney here. There's an estate lawyer that's going to jail for 3 years for racketeering. Wow, this attorney was just as crooked as they was. He was just as crooked. He probably was scared of them. He was just as crooked as they are. Yeah, they're being raided. There's a raid here. Racketeering. They put a freeze on your credit because somebody was abusing their power, but your money's coming in soon. There was something about a safety deposit box and a workplace incident. Okay, this could have been at the bank. This could have been some employees of the bank. All right, that had some kind of altercation. And were compensating themselves here with some money from a safe deposit box. That's why there's this bank lawsuit. They're finding out. So there's some workers that are being subpoenaed to court. They're ordering this person to come to court. This workplace situation here, co-workers at a bank or co-workers at a job. Something that was a court case, that was a cold case, and some fraud, and some sudden wealth. Excuse me. Now these people are going to have a record for naming a new beneficiary. That's this estate attorney. He going to have a record now because he named a new beneficiary, and you were very much still alive here. He didn't question. None of them questioned anything. They believed everything these people told them. Anything these people said, it was like, okay. Because they wanted to hold off giving you your money till they felt you were ready. What the hell? That's not your job to decide. Okay? And since they couldn't, somebody has broke the HIPAA laws and all kind of laws. Because they didn't think you could handle this much money. $103 million, yeah, that's a lot of money to handle. Or $50,000 is a lot to handle too. But it's not their place to say you can't handle it. They were trying to undermine the integrity of the justice system. That's all it was. Somebody thought they were so smart that they could outsmart the justice system. You are a rich and abundant energy. They were also energy harvesting off of you. But somebody was getting monthly payments here. They couldn't get the death certificate. Some kind of information they couldn't get from somebody's death when they passed away. Or they would have been able to get the entire inheritance and nothing would have been said. So the court brought charges on the bank for negligence because they couldn't get a death certificate for the settlement trust. And the court ruled in your favor. You're going to be gifted $10,000 at first, or they were trying to extort you. They extorted you out of $10,000, or they were trying to extort you out of $10,000, but they couldn't get a death certificate. Now there's a new district attorney, and the family secret of you being adopted is out. They know you weren't adopted, but that they kidnapped you and unalived your mother using a killer private nurse, okay, or somebody in a hospital. Attempted to unalive you as well. Confirmation. Clarify attempted murder. Been on here an hour and 36 minutes. If you could donate to the Cash App, I would appreciate it. Appreciate all donations. Yeah, you were taken, they attempted to unalive you. You were taken from your mother here, who they said was unwell, but they were giving her shock treatment and morphine overdoses so that they could steal you. Somebody was even maybe they were trying to make your mother look like she was crazy. A fight broke out in the court. Confirming a fight broke out in the courthouse. The karmic blew up in the courthouse, refused to be arrested, and lied because they lied under oath. So they got caught up in their scam, and a fight broke out in the court with the karmic. They could have been trying to fight the judge, fight the bailiff, fight everybody in there because they did not want to go to jail for lying under oath. Blackmail, scam, and emails. They tried to Baker's Act you. Confirmation. They tried to have you institutionalized. Now they're about to receive their sentence from the judge, and guess what? They will be Baker's Acted. They contested you being left something in will, saying somebody was crazy. Maybe they tried to say that the person, your father, was crazy. They tried to say somebody was crazy. Yeah, somebody's last name could be Turner. Somebody, you could be experiencing insulin resistance. Like if you're having a hard time, you're gaining weight for no reason. Like you're just putting on weight for no reason. It could be insulin resistance, and apple cider vinegar helps with that. You could be a missing child. They thought you were missing. They were looking for you, and you were missing, but you had been adopted out, and they faked your death. They faked your death, but they really had adopted you out. You could have amnesia or memory loss. Can't remember certain details of your childhood. You may not be able to remember first grade, second grade. You may not be able to remember going to school or none of that. I mean, God making malpractice. But there's a righteous judge that is not playing with these people right now. They know all the details. Somebody was not expecting to get arrested. They did not think they would be arrested, but they did, but they were. A retired law enforcement agent is here. These people have been under investigation for human smuggling for a long time. Yeah, these people who work at this bank never thought they would be in this situation. No matter how much money they have been doing this for so long. And see, the feds, it's like that with the feds. When the feds are watching you, or you're under surveillance by the feds, they will watch you for years and years and years and years before they actually indict you, okay? Because they want to make sure they get all their ducks in a row before they actually come for you. And that's what they did here. And whatever you've been doing, you actually have solved your own case. Literally. These people had no idea about them using witchcraft. Or the fact that they were all involved in a cult. Because the cult, they go to this place, it looks like a church. Maybe they all thought it was a church for real. But then there was the mole. There was the informant that worked for the feds that was playing both sides. So that also made it take longer as well, because they had to figure out who was all involved on their end. They had to go underground and do their work from underground instead of an FBI building. Okay? I hope this helped. I hope somebody got some type of clarity. So from this, I hope it helped you to see what really happened back then, okay? And you're about to receive a structured settlement because it was always your money and you need it right now. You need your money. You're about to get justification, a settlement, a structured settlement. And they're going to want to give you monthly payments, okay? But you can tell them you want a lump sum, okay? Because there is an ethical judge that's here, and they know you've waited long enough for this estate to come to you. They became suspicious and they illegally microchipped somebody. Feds. The FBI became suspicious of somebody and they illegally microchipped this person. This could be somebody who has a record already, been in jail before, okay? And they dismissed this person's case, but they had microchipped them while they were in prison or in jail, okay? Arrest warrant sent out. It's over. It's over. But they're keeping it quiet. Or there could literally be power outages as well. There's a righteous judge that's making an ethical decision about a structured settlement. Clarify arrest warrants. Who was the first one they arrested? This person that went to jail for a little while and they let him out. They dismissed the case and let the person out, but they were still tracking him because they were suspicious of this person. This pastor. So the arrest warrants were sent out for a picture name here that they illegally microchipped. Wow. They illegally microchipped him with the experimental network. He was illegally microchipped by a retired law enforcement agent. Who was illegally microchipped? Somebody with the last name Turner was illegally microchipped. Or they illegally microchipped somebody. Somebody with the last name Turner could be a retired law enforcement agent and illegally microchipped this pastor as a pedophile so that they could illegally surveillance this person. They became suspicious because of a structured settlement that was paid out. So this already was paid out. This cult leader, I'm telling you, he was arrested. He got illegally microchipped somehow. Over this structured settlement. The crazies. It does. It's crazy. It is crazy. It has begun. The crazies has begun. So the crazies has begun. This structured settlement. It's your money and you need it now. You're about to receive a payout from this lawsuit. The Case has been dismissed. The feds became suspicious of this preacher who lied under oath, and we got Turner again. So this could be Mayor Turner, could be involved from Houston, Mayor Turner, but they lied under oath here. Mayor Turner could have helped them to violate some HIPAA laws. A lot of these mayors and congressmen, a lot of them are dying mysteriously, dropping like flies, and then talking, oh, they had an illness. Some people wouldn't ill. This is backfiring from all of them that helped them to steal your money. In closing this out, Holy Spirit, it's almost been 2 hours. Extortion. I'm telling you. Mayor Turner helped these people to extort money from you. And energy harvest off of your abundant energy. But the case has been dismissed. It's over. There's a power of attorney here. So Mayor Turner could have helped these crazies get a power of attorney. Huh? Wow. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you being in this live. I appreciate your likes, your comments, your shares, your bookings, and your donations. Like I said, help out with my little fur babies. I appreciate it. I will see you guys on another one.